program that is designed to enlighten us about our two main religion, Islam and Christianity, and with the third tripod, Judaism. But we have not been able to come with the rabbi of Judaism. But by God's grace, they will soon join us. Today, I am here with some very big clergy people who also combine the work which they do with some things in which the work which they do with some other things that make our country better and hereafter to be even much better. My name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and joining me in the studio today to discuss pilgrimage and current issue is my friend, my brother, although I refer to him as a sheikh, is Reverend Father Emmanuel Unamba of Catholic Diocese of Abuja of St. Cyril Catholic Church, Kadokuchi, Abuja. Reverend Father, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome once again. Many people might not know him. I call him a sheikh because he's learned when it comes to Islamic studies and Arabic to some extent. Let me put that way.
Yes.
Because I know he will disagree with me. And also, we have one man who was not supposed to have time to be in the studio. The Chairman, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Barrister Dhikirullah Hassan. Chairman, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
How's the work going now? Because you know you are in the peak period now.
We are really set, and on Monday we'll begin the journey gradually,
Inshallah,
to the Holy Land. So this is a time like a peak period for us, to serve us who are managing pilgrims going to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for Hajj.
Alhamdulillah. So you are welcome.
Thank you.
But before we continue, we are, like I've said earlier on, we are going to discuss pilgrimage and current issues. The essence of it is for us to know, do we actually need this in our country? If we do, what are the current things that are happening? Because don't forget, the world is changing and everything about everything now is actually changing. But before we discuss pilgrimage, let me quickly pick some of the messages that we have received in recent time. I start with this first message that read that I love this program, but I would have suggested that this kind of program should be done in the church and mosque, because those people doing that kind of thing, killing each other in the name of religion, may not even have television to know all these things. And you see that those people are not educated. They may not even know what television is. I think what this man is saying is that it should be also taken to other places. But I want you to know that this program is a very unique program in this country, because Radio Nigeria also broadcasts it by 5 p.m. every Sunday. So if you are listening to it, please encourage your friends, your people to listen to it on Radio Nigeria by 5 p.m. And there's another FM station in Abuja, Citizen FM, also carry it at the same time. So it means what you are asking for is actually answered. Father, you want to do something?
It's all right. And I remember in one of our program we talked about stepping down whatever we are doing here. The imams should educate the Muslims, and then the priests, the Christian clergy should educate their followers, because it's when we leave it at the upper level, it will not trickle down to the society, to the underground, that's to the people who are fermenting the trouble. It's not the intellectuals, those who are educated will not be much involved in fermenting the trouble. It's those who are on the grassroots, those who lack knowledge. Knowledge is therefore very, very important. So whatever we can do to get the knowledge, disseminate the knowledge to the grassroots, that will help to further the cause of interreligious peace and harmony.
Okay, you want to say something, sir? Or we go on?
Okay, go on.
Okay. This man says, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kamaluddin Mustafa from Bukuru, Jos, Plateau State. So watching this program got me terrified. Children of their age shouldn't have such mindsets about the happenings of our dear nation. I hope those above who pledge to secure our safety are listening. May Allah bless our country, Nigeria. Amen. If you watch the last episode, it actually featured some young people. You watch
Children's Edition.
You want children.
Children's Day.
It was, to mark Children's Day, it was wonderful. When you listen to those children, you know that the children, they actually know what is happening, and they even provide solution to us that The man say it as a child. If you listen to them, believe me, you'll be terrified.
Yes, the internet, the mobile technology has made information very, very available to the children. They know much more than we think they know. So,
thank you. Let me continue. This one say, hello, good day. I love your program. I hope every Nigerian will have that understanding and remove religion from killing each other in the name of God. He said, my name is Jackson. This one say, good day, wonderful children and guests in the studio. Our leaders really need to know that these children are aware of the way they are looting the country. You can imagine children telling us how peaceful Nigerian was and how it has degenerated into what we can't fathom anymore. I love the way those children talk directly to the leaders of this country. Penu is my name. I don't know whether I'm right with that pronunciation or not. This man also writes. He says, good day. I listened to the wonderful program and I learned a lot. The children are the little one, images of God and leaders of tomorrow. The fact that they are children doesn't matter in this present generation. So they are not exempted. Jesus recognizes them because they forgive very quickly. The little girl said, if the leaders, our leaders, can come together with understanding, Nigeria can be good like before. I wish all citizens can be attentive to this program with understanding. I believe that both religion and ethics challenges problem will come to an end. I also believe that Nigerians are talented, but corruption and terrorism is chasing people away from enjoying the nation. I suggest that all political leaders, religious leaders, as well as traditional leaders should seek God leadership, not their own understanding, because man can fail, but God never fail. With God, all things are possible. So Nigerians can be good and better with God if we lift up our hands to God Almighty. Thank you, Alkali Emmanuel from Kaduna State. It's a long one. I do want to say good evening, sir. I've been watching your program every time they show it. My problem is I don't know the exact days and time. If I'm lucky, I meet it going on, I stayed and watch. So please help me with the time and the day. It is very educative and interesting. I really like it, and may Allah continue to thank you. May Allah continue to thank you. Bless you all. It is me, Fadila Gaima from Ghana. Salam. I'm sorry if you are watching now. The time for this program is 11:30 Nigerian time. What time is
PM.
PM 11:30 PM. How many hours is different between Nigeria and Ghana? I think 1 hour.
1 hour.
I think there should be 10:30.
Yes.
So 10:30 Ghanaian time, and every Friday PM, and 5 PM Nigerian time on Sunday to be 4 PM in Ghana. So please, if you are watching, that is the time that it is being shown. We thank you for your interest, and we thank you for your love for this program. This person right, he said, good evening, sir. My name is Angel from Port Harcourt. I just want to say that I love your program and I'm learning a lot. May God bless you all and prosper you all. Another man said, the science of diversity of Christian and Muslim goes all the way back to Ishmael and Isaac, and the different proclamation of the angel upon them, but they are both one father. If this can be commonly seen, that is not about the diversity of religious conduct, but we are unified in blood, and blood is always stronger than religion. Then Ishmael will rather protect Isaac than kill them. Victor Nwaka Dobuchi. Father, I know that is your area. You want to say something about Ishmael and Isaac to us?
The situation is that religion passes through human intervention. So whenever it happens that way, a whole lot of things that are not filths that are not supposed to be there get into it and makes it impure. And that's why people practice what they believe is religion, but actually is not a pure religion. Where I'm driving at is the fact of hatred. The scripture will not tell one person to hate the other, but people who are interested in that area will find words in the scripture to justify whatever they want to do and put it in the mouth of God and say God has said. But even if it is that way in the scripture, our humanity should rise above sentiments, above hatred, so in such a way that even when you read it in the holy books, this happened, those things are meant for their time, and they were meant for a certain circumstances. They were revealed at a certain circumstance to address a certain issue. It should not be generalized to encompass the whole humanity. So let us hold love above every other thing. Once we have love above every other thing, then we are good to go.
Okay, you want to say something on that?
Well, I agree that sometimes the issue that we have give room for concern, and like it's been stated, most time you see those who claim they are following the books to be largely people who are ignorant about the message in the book. But I guess, when people are angry and hungry, they sometimes hide under the cover of religion and do a lot of atrocities. Sometimes these are not people who go to either the mosque or the church. They're just troublesome maker. And a number of times, there are people who benefit from this kind of brigandage. I mean, when a lot of people go to the street, then some people can access a shop and steal something from it. They can steal from inside the car. They can also use their anger on the society and burn things, claiming that they are fighting for God, or rather they are just only putting their anger on the society. And the truth is that when people are hungry and angry, they are sometimes very difficult to tame, and they look for every excuses and hide under every excuses in order to foment trouble.
Okay, thank you. I think that's what that one says it all. Say I love watching this interesting program every week. I wish this program can be mandated to be showing on all TV stations, e.g. AIT channels and others. Sally at Correctional Headquarters, Abuja. I think we are going there. Just wait and see. This one says it's a wonderful program. I've been watching most times in the evening. May God continue to strengthen you all. I have a question. It goes like this: why do we parents of nowadays fail to train our children when little children are found in many illicit acts? What are the fate of our country tomorrow? I think he's talking to you, priests.
He's talking to parents. Okay. Actually, talking to parents. That parents, most times parents think that the teachers in the school or the religious teachers substitute for their role as parents. No, we tell them that God has given you a role. Marriage is ordained by God, and in marriage you are expected to train up your child. Okay. Don't hand it over to somebody else to do. They will not do it as well as you, the parents.
You want to contribute, or we?
Well, clearly it's clear when somebody assumes that he can abandon his responsibility for another person. That person you has abandoned your responsibility for is also a parent. He has his children to contend with. Now you are now expecting him now to also add your own children to his. No, you just do some few teaching and move on. But I also think that because of the electronic age that we have some teachers invading all homes. What do I mean by that? The internet. The internet invades without you seeing it. All you need to be on Google, and before you see a lot of things happening. And so, and also on the TV too, it's possible to see things that are illicit. We must, as a country, find a way of curtailing sometimes this internet invasion, particularly for young people. But like it's been said, this is more the responsibility of parents than even the government or the church or the mosque.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I think this is we would now go on a short break because the main thing we want to discuss is still waiting. And don't go away. We will be on a short break now, but we'll be back after this time out. You come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's stay together. Let's not fight in each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, the tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigerian first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
can we develop? We're always in crisis. Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's stay together.
You are welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission, and today we are discussing pilgrimage and current issues. Do not forget that Nigeria is a very religious country, and we do not play with going to God's home or going to God houses with the intention of worshiping Him. And that is why today we'll be discussing pilgrimage and current issues. Joining me in the studio once again is Barrister Dekrolai Hassan, is the Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of National Hajj Commission of Nigeria here in Abuja. Barrister, you are welcome.
Thank you. And viewers at home, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. And we have Reverend Father Emmanuel Unamba. He is of St. Cyril Catholic Church, Kadokuchi, Abuja here. Reverend Father, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Whenever I see Reverend, I feel so elated, and everything in him, you hardly can differentiate whether he's a Muslim or not. But he has told us one thing about it, that we need to understand that being a Muslim, being a Christian does not separate us. So thank you. And you can also be part of this program by sending messages to 070-449-44949. Once again, 070-449-44949 is on this your screen, but please do not call. Just only SMS or WhatsApp messages. You will make us to have a very good program if you don't call, but you only send your messages. Let's quickly start by understanding what exactly we want to discuss. What is pilgrimage? Let me start from Reverend.
Pilgrimage, the Christian understanding, is the attempt of the religious person to familiarize himself with the origin of his religion, which involve getting back to the what we refer to as Holy Land, the foundation of the religion. It also involves moving from your house to the house of God. I will explain that later.
Okay.
Now, the Christian religion has a place where it originated.
Okay.
And so, thousands of years after we call ourselves Christians, we practice the religion of Christianity. And so, in order to make us more in touch with the religion that we practice, there's that urge for us to get back to the land of the origin of our religion, talking particularly about Israel,
okay,
the homeland of Jesus Christ, whom we follow as our Lord and Master. And so Christian pilgrimage is getting back to those points where God made his mark on earth. Our God is in heaven, but he comes down on earth to make his mark. And so we have Jesus Christ descending from heaven and dwelling among us. The Gospel of John chapter 1 verse 1 will tell us that in the beginning he was God and was with God, and now at a particular time he came down to dwell among us. So Christian pilgrimage is trying to go. Let us see. Sometimes when we tell a folklore, we say once upon a time, is a fairy tale. Okay. But a Christian going on pilgrimage is to understand that what is holds and practice is not a fairy tale. It can be concretized. You can go to the place where Jesus was born, Nazareth, and you see it. You can go to the place where Jesus died, Calvary. You see it. You can go to where he was buried, in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. You can go to the Dead Sea, the Sea of Galilee. All those areas where we read about in the Bible. Okay. This will help you to understand that the faith you practice and hold is real.
Okay.
It's not a fairy tale.
Okay. Chairman, we have listened to pilgrimage from Christian point of view, and what is pilgrimage? Probably from the Islamic point of view now.
Here, pilgrimage, as we know, within the Islamic world is centered around what we call Hajj mainly. And to Muslim, Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And this Hajj is what you do at a particular time in a particular location. That is, the time must be right and the location must be specific. It's not something you can just wake up and say, gentlemen, I'm going to Hajj now. No. Hajj is the 12th month of the Islamic calendar, which is called Zulhijjah, and the Hajj has to be done in Mecca, particularly in a place called Arafah and Muna. So, in essence, for Muslims, because the Quran, chapter 22, verse 27, Allah was instructive. He said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَأَذِنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَاجٍ عَمِيقٍ. The Quran verse said, you have to proclaim, instructed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to proclaim, and so the Muslims too are proclaiming. He instructed and he said, people will come, and that is why it was a prophetic revelation. I now, as the chairman of Hajj Commission, can imagine how people are struggling to do the pilgrimage. And I'm not talking of free of charge. I'm talking of so many people, Nigerian Muslims, who still want to go to the pilgrimage in order to go and worship their Creator. By the way, for purpose of information, it is compulsory only once in your lifetime. If you choose to go any other time, fine. But it is sufficient if you go just once in a lifetime. So for us, any person who has the money, he has the health, he has the chance, must go on pilgrimage. If he does not do so from the Islamic worldview, is sinning. I mean, Islam does not say you must go every time, every year, no. But if you have the means, and the means first includes your health, your wealth, your understanding of the faith, you must go at least once in your lifetime. And that is the import of it. So you don't have a choice to say, no, I don't want to go on one pilgrimage. It's just something like tourism. No, Hajj is not tourism. Of course, you can go to some other places in Saudi Arabia which will fall under tourism. If you go to Medina, if you go to
even Taif,
if you go to even there are places in Mecca that you go to which is also part of tourism. But strictly when you say you are going on Hajj, you are not going on tourism. You are going for a journey to worship Allah. Of course, you see many historical places. You see the burial site of the Prophet ﷺ. As important as that place is, it is just tourism. It's not part of pilgrimage. You see the Holy Mosque in Medina. As important it is, and also as rewarding as it is not part of pilgrimage. Pilgrimage, it must be in a specific place, which is in Arafah and Muna, but specifically at Arafah. Once you are at Arafah, once you are not at Arafah, if you like, you can spend 20 years in Saudi Arabia. You have not performed pilgrimage.
But why should people that we go to Medina and every time you
because
Medina every time?
The truth is that there are benefits for going to Medina too. There's benefit. Once you pray in the holy house in Medina, you are entitled to over 10,000 reward from the Islamic point of view, as again pray in your house. But if you get to Mecca, the reward is much more. But you go to Medina because, like it's been said, it's good to see where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam struggled to sustain the message, and from there it went to billions of people. I mean, it will interest you to want to see where it started. For instance, the greatest nation of Islam in the world is Indonesia. They don't speak Arabic. They're in Southeast Asia. They too want to know where the message came from. We in Africa too, we don't speak Arabic. And yet, we want to know where the struggle started. The struggle actually started in Mecca, but when Muhammad got to Medina, that was where he was able to really express the message more and start the social political importance of Islam. So you go to Medina because there are things to see, there are reward to be earned, but you haven't done pilgrimage.
Okay.
You have to get to Mecca, and from Mecca, and you get to.
Before I let you go there, how is Hajj performed? Because you have been mentioning it has a time and it has a specific place in location.
Yeah.
How briefly? How is
The fundamental of Hajj is usually first you must have an intention to go and perform Hajj.
Okay.
I mean, within your mind, you don't have to say it, but at least you must have an intention that you want to go. That's fundamental.
Okay.
The ihram clothes that we put on is called ihram. The Muslim are aware of the
Please, what is ihram?
Yeah, it's just a white cloth for men. One simple white unsewn cloth,
Okay.
two unsewn cloth for men. Whereas for women, any dress will fit as long as it's covering their what we call the aura, their what is term called nakedness. Yes, once they can wear any. The Nigerian Muslim, particularly Yoruba, like to wear white color, which is not necessary.
You mean by women?
By women, yeah,
Okay.
they like to wear white color dress, which is not necessary, but fine if you choose to. So that is ihram is fundamental.
Okay.
The second one is that you have to do tawaf.
Okay.
Tawaf is circumambulation, that is going around the Kaaba, and then you do sa'i, which is also part of the. All these are situated in the holy mosque in Mecca.
Okay.
And then you have to be in Mount Arafah.
Okay.
With the other things, these are just the fundamentals. I mean, you go to Muna, you go to Muzdalifah, you go to many places where all that time all your minds and hearts must go straight to Allah. And the beautiful thing about Hajj is that when you are in the process of performing Hajj, is a big leveler. I mean, you will not know who is an ambassador and who is his driver, because we are all dressed in the same simple clothes with nothing, no underwear for men. There's no underwear, either singlet or singlet or pants. It's just that simple clothes. As simple as it is. If the president is there, that is what he will wear.
And his messenger too is there.
His messenger too. So sometimes the beautiful thing is when you see people going, you will not be able to know where is the big man. Because there's no way you can know a big man when you are in the process of Hajj. There's just no way a big man can know. Where you can have a big pot belly, maybe. But of course, some poor men too have pot belly. But so other than that, there will be no way to know. And we will all be in tents while we all send our prayers to Allah the Almighty, and of course in deep reflection of why we're there, because we look at it as this is a semblance of a day when all of us shall be before our Creator for judgment.
Thank you so much. He has explained how it's being performed. I can see you are nodding your head.
Yeah.
The Christian pilgrimage, how is it being performed?
The Christian pilgrimage, maybe I will go back into history for us to be able to understand it. The Christian pilgrimage is not an obligation. It's not an obligation. There's no Christian who is obliged to make the pilgrimage. The Christian pilgrimage arose in history that people desired to know, to be in touch with these areas where their faith was founded.
Okay.
So that's what gave rise to Christian pilgrimage, and it came to its apex, or if I may say, under the Queen Empress Helena, the mother of the Constantine the Great, the Roman Emperor, who she's one of those who publicized pilgrimage, because she left Rome and went to pilgrimage to Jerusalem and to the other parts of the Holy Land, and it was said that he brought the relics of the true cross of Jesus Christ from Jerusalem to Rome. And today, when you go to pilgrimage in Rome, you will see the obelisk at the St. Peter's Square. It is said that that's at the top of the obelisk is where the relic of the Holy Cross is placed. Now, the point I'm making is that within history, Christians felt it important to visit the Holy Land. So that will tell you that there is no organized or a way of making the pilgrimage.
Okay.
It depends on your interest. Like what we are going to say later about where do you go when you go for pilgrimage. Again, it comes up as an issue of interest. But of course, anybody who wants to go to pilgrimage must first of all go to the Holy Land. That's very important before you then go to other places of interest. These days, the Christian pilgrimage always touches Rome, because Rome, immediately after Jerusalem, the center of the church moved to Rome, because the Roman Empire was the one in charge of Jerusalem at the time of Jesus.
Okay.
So the capital of the church moved to Rome. So from Jerusalem to Rome, and that's why the emperors had an upper hand in determining what happens in the church. And as you mentioned some time ago, Constantine eventually made the edict of Milan, where Christianity was no longer to be a persecuted religion, but a religion that anybody can practice. So I'm trying to make the point that you can't there's no standard for when to go for the pilgrimage, or where to go, or what to do. So it's just the interest of the pilgrim that wants to make the pilgrimage. He wants to go to Jerusalem, he wants to go to Nazareth, he wants to go to Galilee, Jordan. This day you can go to Jordan, the land of the Old Testament, go to Rome, there are other places too where you can go, the places of apparition, Mariam apparition. Where Mary, the mother of Jesus, appears. That's in Lourdes, in Fatima, in Guadalupe, many places where Mary has, even in Nigeria.
Because I know there's a place where Mary appear in somewhere in Ondo Benue State.
So
okay,
it's just that God decides to manifest Himself wherever, and that brings us to another point where going for the pilgrimage is to help you to grow your faith. It helps you to grow your faith.
Okay.
It does not give you the faith. It helps you to grow your faith. So when you don't have the faith and you go for pilgrimage, it will just be like a tourism. He earlier talked of the intention, the intention to go on pilgrimage. And when you go there, it's your intention that makes it religious, that lifts you up above every other person who has been there all the way. So Christian pilgrimage, in summary, has no standard or where you need to go or what you need to do at a particular place. And there is no time fixed for it. Anytime you want.
It means the two religions, they have the idea of pilgrimage, but the way and the concept might be differ.
Exactly.
But they both have it.
Yes. And one common thing again, the place where we go to. You see, the two religions are found within the same locality.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our common ground again.
Middle East.
Middle East.
Yes.
So we are all heading to the same place.
Okay, we'll get there. But what is the relevance to us now? Because the way you have said it now is like everybody should be interested. Like Chairman also said that Muslims, it's like if a Muslim goes there today, by the time he's leaving, his mind is back there again. What is relevance to us as a nation now? Let me start from the Chairman this time around.
Well, first, for us as Muslims, the relevance are many. There's an internalization experience of Hajj. Let me tell you what I mean. When I go to Hajj sometimes, go to Saudi Arabia, and I tell people I'm from Nigeria. You may be surprised, as big as this country is, there are people who does not know who Nigeria is. And I tell you what, it's just like telling my father or grandfather that you are from Ethiopia. He doesn't know what is Ethiopia. Or telling him you're from Seychelles. Or you're from Uzbekistan. Or you are from Portugal. As apparent as it may be, for my grandfather, even my father, he hasn't had such things. For most people, going even to the Saudi Arabia has an experience where, because it's a place where people come from every single part of the planet. So you have a reason to meet at the same time. So there's this community of brotherhood which lets you know that this race or this tribe or this ethnicity are just accident. They are not what makes a man. For instance, I am a Yoruba man. It wasn't my choice. I could have been an Igbo man. I could have been somebody from the north. I could have been somebody outside the country. I didn't have a choice in where I come from. It was just God designed for me to come from a Yoruba man, and as a result, I become a Yoruba man. So there should not be any basis of superiority. So when you go for Hajj and you see that it is everybody all over the world, sometimes when we go from Nigeria, we assume that we are so many, but when we get to the place, we look like just a dot. When you see people
like the black of rice,
exactly,
the black one in the bag of the rice,
exactly. That's how we look like. But when you are going from the airport, you look so much, but when you get to the place, you look so. You'll be looking for yourself. So minute. That's the point. So from there, when you get there, it lets you know that you are not just alone in this. But more importantly, I also think a lot of Nigerians learn lesson that you can worship your God and still be in some form of comfort. Let's face it. I remember when my sister, one day I was telling him that it's possible to have 24 hours electricity. He didn't believe it. He actually thought that, how is it possible? Because I'm talking of someone who's 70 years old. He has never witnessed it. When I told the I said,
calm down small.
Please, it's exaggeration. I even asked, why do you need 24 hours electricity? But when he went to Hajj, the pilgrimage, it's the first time in his life, and only time for that matter, that you can see that such things are actually not luxury. So when you go to pilgrimage, and if you see the Muslim pilgrimage, 90% are by poor people. 90%. The rich man does not have the luxury of time or the strength to go through some of those spiritual lessons. But the poor as they are, they want an experience of it even in their lifetime. So by having access to go, they get to know that the world is broader than they imagine. It's the world, it become clearer to them that wherever they are, and some of them come from the village, most of them, they've never even been to the capital of their state before. All they see about airplane is on the sky. So that's why I'm saying it has some internalization, experience, and exposure. But more importantly, a true Muslim, when he gets to the Holy Land, is probably going to be in a deep reflection and sometimes cry, because he has an opportunity to worship. And when he sees some people losing their life, that itself can touch him. And for a true Muslim who really goes to Hajj, he should come back a better Nigerian, a better Muslim, if he has benefited from going.
Okay, that if you perform Hajj, you must become a better Nigerian. I think with this we go on a short break now. We now see how can you become that better Nigeria if you want to go. Don't go away. We back very soon.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Welcome. Welcome back. You can be part of this program by sending your messages to 070-449-44949. It's in your studio, your screen, 070-449-44949. Just WhatsApp messages and SMS. Please do not call. This time around, performing pilgrimage has now turned to something very different. Let me start with Reverend Father. We have new challenges now, especially with COVID-19. How is it affecting Christian pilgrimage now? I mean, the current trends in Christian pilgrimage now.
Of course, during the COVID, there was ban on everything, so you can't even go out on pilgrimage. That again has its lesson to teach us that God is everywhere. Even though we try to find him in particular places where he has made his footprint, but God is everywhere. We can find him even in our homes. There are people who don't have the means to go for the pilgrimage and they still get to heaven or to paradise. So even if we don't go for the pilgrimage, that does not mean you will not attain salvation in the hereafter. But now with the COVID situation, there are some countries are making some restriction. I got to learn that Israel has now permitted, so far you have your COVID vaccine. Once you have taken the COVID vaccine, that you can come on the pilgrimage. But before then, when there was a little restriction, Christian pilgrims usually divert to Jordan and to some other places. The Jordan, Iraq, and Iran are important places of the Christian scripture, because that's the places of the Old Testament.
Okay.
The land of Edom and all those names we hear in the Old Testament are found mostly in Iraq, Syria also, and Jordan. So that tilted towards those areas. But now things have been normalized. We can now go back to Israel
Okay.
and make the pilgrimage. And of course, as I already said, it's not limited to Israel. You can make an internal pilgrimage, which is what we always also emphasize in our church.
Okay.
You don't need to spend 2 million going to Jerusalem, and then you have a sick mother who you can't take to the hospital.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So you can do an internal pilgrimage. Go to Outbay. You can go to Outbay. We have a place where Mary appeared in Benue State called Outbay.
Okay.
You can make a pilgrimage to that place and then make use of the money that you would have spent, and then taking care of your sick mother or help the poor. And he mentioned something earlier on about the fact that it's not compulsory that you have to do it every year, and that what brings about the many poor people going for pilgrimage, because the rich people can now sponsor the poor. Okay. So think of something you can do. Don't see it as a pilgrimage is something you have to do every day.
Okay.
Something that is a religious obligation which you do once. It's
And that's
obligation
all.
of annos.
Okay.
Exactly.
In Hajj, I know there are so many new trends now, like the Hajj savings scheme, like the prices, things in Saudi Arabia that have completely changed because of the new things. What are the situation of the Hajj savings scheme, the trend in Saudi Arabia that people need to know that these are the things that is trending now?
Well, like you did say, I just would like to start from where I stopped. In truth, COVID-19 was really a very harsh teacher to every person in the world. But a teacher it is. I remember somebody telling me that she actually was very fashion conscious. She said during COVID, she didn't actually know that she was wearing just one cloth for a month because she's got nowhere to go. It was indeed a hard teacher, but I'm sure all of us, those of us alive, will have benefited quite a lot to know that you can actually manage with little. You can manage with little, that you may even survive this world without leaving your house. I'm sure those people who are in IT really have benefited from it. I remember that I have a daughter who for one good year worked from the house. She didn't have to work in the office. That was some lesson anyway outside the religion. But for us, it means that for 2 years we couldn't go for Hajj. For 2 years we could not. Now the current trend as far as COVID protocol is concerned in Saudi Arabia is before you can be allowed to come, you must have taken the vaccine.
Okay.
But they have added another one, which is to say that you must do the PCR test. So it's a condition. Without PCR test, without the vaccine.
Is that COVID-19 test?
Yeah, sorry?
Is that COVID-19 test?
COVID-19 test, I mean, aside other, the COVID-19 test, yes. That is the PCR test, that's true. It's COVID-19 test, and then you must have been vaccinated. The other thing is the reality that Saudi Arabia is also battling with their economy, so they have introduced a VAT of 15% as against what it used to be 5%. So it means every product that you are buying will now have 15% tax added to it. And now again, you have to catch a flight to Saudi Arabia. There is no flight, there is no access from Nigeria by road or by sea to do Hajj. It has to be by air. Maybe it will change later, but for now it has to be. And all of us are aware of what airline are battling with, either locally or globally. So we have to contend with that as well. We have to also contend with the foreign exchange. rate in the economy, because Hajj will include flight, which is designated in US dollars, the accommodation in Saudi Arabia, it has to be. And very importantly, which Nigeria needs to know, is that the Nigerian government does not fund the operation of Hajj in Nigeria. Many people are not aware of this.
If you want to ask that question.
Yes, I make bold to say publicly that the federal government of Nigeria does not support financially in the Hajj operation in Nigeria, and we're not complaining, to be honest. We're not complaining.
So it's not government that is sponsoring you people going?
No, government does not sponsor.
With that number?
Well, let me use the word, the federal government of Nigeria. So I may not know what happens at the state government or local government, but the federal government of, and I'm saying this publicly, I'm not saying it as something that people need not know. And I'm saying so also, I must say with some
so but how do you cope?
Well, we have devised a number of internal generated revenue on how to run our operations. We have think out of the box. We do some PPP with some of our landed properties. I mean, private-public partnership, and so that
does that include Hajj savings scheme? Is it the same?
Oh yes, our Hajj savings scheme, actually, the Hajj savings scheme which we started 2020 was actually a response to answer a number of questions.
Okay.
Number one, you don't need to beg to go to Hajj. You don't need to beg to go to pilgrimage. If God did not give you the money, He's not going to ask you why you didn't do the pilgrimage. You don't need to go and get a loan to go to pilgrimage. If God did not entrust you with wealth, He's not going to ask you to come and account for it. He didn't give you the money, so stay and worship. Like it's been said, everywhere it's lawful to. It's a lawful place to worship God. So if you are not financially able, and I'm saying it here, don't go and trouble your uncle or your to give you money for Hajj. You are a very poor man with no job. Go and get money to start a small trade. I'm saying it there. A very poor man who has no means of income has no business in asking to be sponsored for pilgrimage. No, what you need is money to start your business. And I'm telling people that if you see somebody that's seriously poor and you want to help him, please don't send him on pilgrimage. Go and get him a job to do. And that's why we said he can now save to go to Hajj. The saving, for goodness sake, can be 20 years. Some may ask, suppose I die before 20 years, no problem. God did not give you the money. He's not going to ask you to come and account for why did you not perform Hajj. So save to go to Hajj, and that's why we insert the Hajj saving scheme. The aim of which include that while you are saving, your money is also being invested, and you are entitled to returns on your investment beyond the fact that you are saving for it. And I think it's more dignifying to save for 5, 6, 7 years to go to the pilgrimage than to go and begging. And I've seen instances of I've seen incidents of somebody who's just a megad, who's crying to go to Hajj. After going, I know before he left, he raised the issue that he has a strength problem.
And he want to perform pilgrimage.
I want to perform pilgrimage. And you know, one of the conditions which you must fulfill before you can go for pilgrimage is that you must pay your debt. If you are incurring debt presently and you're not able to pay, believe you me, you don't have business going to Hajj. If you want to go to Hajj and your children's school fees is not paid and you are going to commit sin. In fact, you are going as a sinner. If you are going to Hajj and your wife is hungry and you make no payment, but just say, I'm going to just pray for me. Which prayer? That prayer may turn to curse. You must first take care of the family.
Okay. I'm sorry. Now, when this year is like you everything is, you are starting late.
Sure.
When are you? I believe the Hajj is around July.
Yes.
Which is the time of Eid al-Kabir, around July 9. Yes. So it's around that. It means from now, Hajj remain like 1 month.
Sure.
Do not waste time. When are you starting your flight?
We're flying. The first inaugural flight out of Nigeria will be from Maiduguri, by the special grace of God, to be July 9.
July 9.
Sorry, I mean to say June 9.
June 9.
June 9.
May Allah make it easy and make it successful. And you also briefly to this age thing. This is what I've been hearing, that if you are 65, you can't go.
Well, I think necessarily because of health issue, and suspicion that once you are over 65, you are really
disenfranchised, so to say.
You are maybe nearing your grave, which is somewhat true. Saudi Arabia this year said once you are 65 years and above, please don't come on pilgrimage this year. I suspect that this is going to be temporal. So to give hope for those of you who are more than 65, pray that the world will get better elsewhere. I'm sure you may stand a chance next year. But if you are up to 65 this year, there is no pilgrimage for you as far as Hajj is concerned.
And sorry, Reverend, because this is their peak period. Our time is fast gone. Briefly, 3 years you didn't go for Hajj. How are you going to cope? Briefly, how are you coping?
We have coped, like I said, because we have engaged ourselves in a number of activities that have kept us busy. We are starting what we call Hajj East of Nigeria in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
What we meant by that is that we know that Hajj is a multi-billion industry, multi-billion naira industry. We are trying to train the young entrepreneur to be involved in it and to get to know the nitty-gritty of how Hajj can become a successful business.
Okay.
We are starting this, and to be honest with you, we are the first in the world to do so. What we are saying is that it's not a management business for an upstart. It's people. It's for people who are. It's what, yes, we call it Hajj professional. So because apart from Hajj, which is once at a particular, there's also lesser Hajj which you can do. Also, we have kept ourselves busy in doing things which are incidental to our operation, and I think by now we are fully ready to start the Hajj operation, inshallah, this year.
Okay, Reverend, those who are performing Hajj, who are performing pilgrimage generally,
Yes.
what's your advice?
I forgot to mention when we are talking of the present challenges, the country is very difficult for everyone now. So especially our youth, everybody is looking for opportunity to find their way. If you are not going for Hajj or the Christian pilgrimage for the right purpose, with the good intention of going to encounter God, please, there's no need of going. Yes, our country is difficult, but we need to stay here and make it better. And that's why, as election is coming, we are calling on young people, please get your PVC, vote out bad rulers, and then put in the good people. Don't run away in the pretext of going for pilgrimage and you disappear there and leave the country for us. Stay back and put it in order, and this country will be will be a pilgrimage center also for other people to come in.
That's true. Thank you, Chairman. What's your advice now?
Yes, I agree. Please, if you want to go to pilgrimage, go for the right reason, and I agree with him. We are actually going along with the NAP tip, that is, in case we are thinking of running away, we have devised means to get you back to this country together. we are in it. We are going to fix it together. So if you are thinking by using the pilgrimage, it to be an opportunity to abscond, I can assure you will not allow you. You are going to come back here together. So we'll go there. We pray that God give us the right kind of leadership that can transform society. And like it said, people can come to us. So after all, Dubai used to be a desert. And now it has become a place where the entire world wants to see. So we too, like I said, get your PVC and vote the right person. If you're a young person, don't make yourself an instrument of violence, because the rich man who's giving you money to go and kill does not do so for his children. So why do you want to destroy your life because of one person? And it happens regularly. There are people who are ready to die because of other people, and yet those people will not die for you. So please get your PVC and do the right thing for the election when it comes, and we pray that may the best leader emerge for us in the coming election.
Inshallah.
Well, thank you so much. I think our prayer is, may the best leader emerge for us in this coming election. And those of you who will be performing this year's Hajj, you should know that it's the time for you to pray for our country, to pray for our nation, so that the best that we will have it. We want to thank you for having time to come. Reverend Father, we thank you and we appreciate you. Like I always say, you might not know he's my sheikh, and I appreciate him. And Chairman, I actually want to thank you, especially because I know this is a peak period. I'm not too sure whether you are not going back to office when you are leaving this place. I pray that God, in His infinite mercy, will make it a successful operation. So thank you for being part of it. And to our viewers, we want to thank you for being part of this program. Don't forget to join us once again on Sunday by 5 p.m. in the evening, same station. We will be there, and we'll be coming with a fresh edition. Until when we meet next week, I am Imam Fuad Adeyemi saying bye-bye.